the man who received my kidney is a Korean Mafia boss. I know that now, because someone slid an envelope under my door with my hospital photo inside. Anonymous was supposed to mean safe. Instead, it means I have no idea who's coming for me. My office cell is too quiet. The kind of quiet that makes you hear your own blood. The mini fridge hums. The rain ticks the window like impatient fingers. I'm standing barefoot on cold vinyl, one hand pressed to the left side of my abdomen where the scar still feels tender and wrong, like my body is borrowing space from itself. I should be sleeping. But my peephole is blacked in the door, and I keep looking at it like it might blink back. A soft scrape cuts through the silence. Paper on tile. I freeze. 5 seconds. 10. Then I step close enough to see it, a black envelope, pushed halfway into my apartment like it owns the place. No stamp. No return address. Just my name and unit number written neatly in Hangul, careful strokes that look practiced. Formal. My throat tightens. My fingertips go numb as I pinch the envelope's edge and drag it inside. The paper is thick. Expensive. It smells faintly of sandalwood, and something sharper underneath, like metal left in the rain. I lock the deadbolt. Then I lock it again, like doing it twice can make it truer. The flap opens with a clean tear. Inside, one glossy photo. Me. 2 days ago. Walking out of the transplant wing with my hoodie up and my mask on, clutching my discharge packet to my chest like it could shield me. The angle is wrong for a security camera. Too close. Too human. My stomach drops. Someone was there. Under the photo is a card, white as bone, letters printed so crisp they look carved, Joan Tower. Top floor. Tonight. No signature. No greeting. No threat. That's worse. Because a threat would at least admit it's a threat. My mind snaps back to the day I donated, the way the consent forms stacked like homework. The pen scratching across paper. The nurse's gentle voice. The promise that I would never know his name, and he would never know mine. I believed them. I swallow, and my mouth tastes like dry pennies, like fear has its own currency. At the bottom of the envelope, one more slip of paper. A photocopy. Hospital letterhead. A line highlighted in yellow, donor, NIA, match confirmed my vision blurs. Not tears. Heat. Rage. Because this isn't just stalking. This is a breach. A betrayal with fluorescent lights and a friendly smile. If you've ever signed a medical consent form for a stranger and later wondered who your kindness reached. Drop receipt. Because I'm staring at proof that Anonymous was a lie someone sold. My phone is on the table. I don't pick it up. Who do you call when the problem is the system? I pace. 3 steps. 4. My stitches pull when I turn too fast, a sharp reminder that running isn't simple right now. I press my palm to the sore spot and force myself to breathe through my nose. Think, Nia. Option 1, ignore it. Stay home. Pretend I didn't see it. Option 2, call the police and explain that someone has my donor identity, and I'm scared, and what? Wait while they take notes and ask if I have enemies? Option 3, go to the tower. My skin prickles at the idea. Joan Tower isn't a place people like me get summoned to. It's glass and marble in Gangnam, the kind of building that reflects the city back at itself. Wealth on display. Security everywhere. And yet, if they already know where I live, staying here feels like sitting in a lit room with the curtains open. I dress slowly, wincing as I pull on jeans that graze my incision. Hoodie. Mask. A cap low over my eyes. I hesitate at the mirror. I look normal. Which means I look easy. Outside, Seoul smells like wet asphalt and fried chicken drifting from somewhere down the block. Neon bleeds into puddles. I keep my head down, counting footsteps behind me that may not exist, flinching at every scooter that passes too close. The taxi ride to Jowon Tower is too smooth. The seatbelt presses my scar. Each stoplight feels like a hand held up to my face. Wait. 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 When we arrive, the lobby is a cathedral of stone, marble veined like frozen lightning, ceilings too high for comfort. People move with purpose, eyes forward. Nobody lingers. I step inside and immediately feel underdressed, underprotected, out of place. A receptionist looks up. Polite smile. Then she sees the card in my hand, and the smile changes, smaller, tighter, like she's been warned. Without a word, she points me toward a private elevator bank. My pulse stutters. The elevator doors open with a whisper. I step in alone. No buttons, just a black panel that reads my card when I hold it up. A soft chime. The doors close like a decision. The ascent is silent. Fast. My ears pop. My palms sweat. Then the elevator slows, as if reconsidering. A final ding. The doors part. A private floor, carpet thick enough to swallow footsteps. 2 men in suits stand near the entrance, still as statues, eyes lowered. They don't look at me. They look past me. And then they bow. Not to me. To the man waiting inside. Somewhere to my left, a voice murmurs in Korean, reverent and afraid at the same time, "Sajangnam is here." The men who bowed don't move again until I step forward. The hallway swallows sound. No lobby music up here. No ringing phones. Just thick carpet and air that feels filtered twice. One of the suited men opens a door without looking at me. Inside is an office that could be a museum exhibit for power. Dark wood. A wall of glass. Seoul spread out below like a circuit board. On a side table, a tea set sits untouched, porcelain so thin it looks sharp. The room smells like bergamot and something faintly chemical, like a cleaned weapon. He's standing near the window with his hands behind his back. Tall. Controlled. Not a hair out of place. The kind of man who doesn't fidget because the world fidgets for him. He turns when I enter. No smile. Not even a polite one. His gaze lands on my cap, my mask, my shoulders. He takes in the way I'm bracing my left side. The way I'm breathing shallow, protecting stitches. Like I'm a chart. Like I'm a problem he intends to solve. A second man stands near the door, half a step behind him. Broader. Watchful. He doesn't scan the room, he scans me. When his eyes flick to the man at the window, there's something in it that isn't friendship. Deference. He dips his head slightly and murmurs, "Sajangnam." So it's not just a fancy office. It's a court. The man by the window, Taehyun, walks closer. The soles of his shoes make almost no sound. He stops at a distance that feels measured. Safe enough to look civilized. Close enough to remind me he chose it. "You came," he says in English, clean and careful. My mouth is dry. "You sent someone to my home." "I sent an invitation." His eyes don't soften. "You were unsafe." Unsafe. Past tense. Like it's already decided. I lift the card in my hand. It trembles, traitorous. "You have my hospital information." "That's illegal." A beat. His jaw tightens once, like a door latch. "It was illegal," he agrees, "for someone to take it." Not him. Someone. The sentence is built like a shield. I step forward anyway, because anger is the only thing that feels bigger than fear. "Who are you?" He doesn't answer with words. He reaches for his left cuff. Rolls it back with precision. No hesitation. No drama. A hospital bracelet circles his wrist, cut and retaped, like he couldn't bring himself to throw it away. And there, printed in small block letters, Is the donor code I saw on my paperwork. My donor code. My stomach drops so hard it feels like the floor shifts. He holds my gaze and says it quietly, like a confession he's been rehearsing. You saved my life. The room seems to narrow around that sentence. My lungs forget the next breath. I should feel proud. I should feel relieved it went to someone who lived. Instead, all I can think is, of course it's you. Of course the universe took my one pure act and tied it to a man whose building has private elevators and bowing men. If you're the recipient, my voice cracks against the mask. Then why am I here? His eyes flick once, just once, to the man by the door. The man answers in Korean, low and fast. Taehyun responds without looking away from me. The words blur, but the tone is unmistakable, orders being acknowledged. Then Taehyun says, your name is circulating. My skin prickles. Circulating where? In places you don't want to exist, he replies. His voice is calm, but there's a hard edge underneath, like steel wrapped in polish. A donor file was breached. Sold. My rival thinks if he can hold you, he can hold me. I stare at him. Rival. He doesn't correct the implication. Doesn't pretend to be just a CEO. He lets the mask sit crooked on purpose. Whoever accessed your information, Taehyun continues, also found your address. My scar aches, as if my body understands before my brain does. He gestures toward the tea set like we're negotiating business, not my life. You will not go back tonight. You'll stay somewhere secure. My penthouse. My laugh comes out thin and sharp. You want me to hide in your apartment? I want you breathing, he says, and for the first time there's something human in his face. It's impatience, maybe. Or guilt that doesn't know how to kneel. If you were in my place, if the man you saved with your kidney told you his enemies were coming, what would you do? Type Team Taehyun if you'd let the man you saved with your kidney hide you in his penthouse when his enemies come looking. I take one step back. Then another. No. I'm leaving. The watchful man by the door moves with me. Not aggressive. Not frantic. Just placed. A wall in a suit. He gives a small bow, polite enough to pass his manners, and says, please. My pulse bangs against my ribs. Move. He doesn't. Taehyun's voice drops, softer now, almost careful. Gwen Chanay, if you listen. I whip my head toward him. Don't tell me it's okay. He takes a step forward, and from far below, through all that marble and glass and money, a sound snaps upward. A sharp crack. The office windows tremble. Somewhere in the lobby, someone screams. Then another sound, unmistakable even this high above the street. A gunshot. The second gunshot doesn't come. But the silence after the first one is worse. Seekjin's hand closes around my elbow, firm, not rough, and he guides me out of the office like it's a fire drill and I'm the liability. The suited men in the hall don't panic. They organize. One steps to the elevator. Another speaks into an earpiece in rapid Korean. Taehyun doesn't raise his voice. He doesn't have to. When he walks, the hallway clears. Eyes drop. Shoulders tighten. People become careful around him, like he's the edge of a blade. Service corridor, Seekjin says in English, clipped. Then to Taehyun, in Korean, Hyungnim. Hyungnim. Not just a boss. Something older. More personal. More binding. We turn into a narrow passage that smells like cedar smoke and iron, like cleaning solvent trying to erase what happened here before. Fluorescent lights buzz overhead. My sneakers squeak once and I hate the sound. I hate that it proves I'm real in a place built to keep things quiet. I clutch my side as we move. My incision throbs with each fast step. Is this, I start. Later, Seekjin says without looking at me. Not unkind. Just urgent. A door opens. Cold air hits my face. We're in an underground bay, glossy black vehicles lined up like they're waiting for a funeral. An engine turns over. Low. Smooth. Seekjin ushers me into the back seat of an SUV. The leather is cool through my jeans. The door shuts with a heavy, final sound. Taehyun slides in beside me, close enough that I can smell him, clean soap, expensive fabric, and something faintly spicy, like pepper ground fresh. His presence changes the space. The car feels smaller. The city outside feels farther. Tinted windows lift us into motion. Seoul becomes streaks of light and wet pavement. Neon signs smear into pink and blue ribbons. My heart keeps tripping over itself. I should demand answers. I should scream. But my body is doing math, no exit. No control. Stay alive. Taehyun speaks softly, as if volume could attract bullets. They won't try again in the lobby. Too many cameras. Then why did they do it at all? My voice comes thin. To remind me you exist, he says. Matter of fact. Cruel in its simplicity. My stomach twists. So I'm a message. His gaze shifts to me, sharp as cut glass. You're a vulnerability. The word hits harder than danger. Vulnerability is what predators hunt. The SUV climbs into a private garage. Another elevator. Another quiet corridor. Everything about this night is corridors, pathways designed so ordinary people never have to see what powerful men do. The penthouse door opens without a key. Warmth spills out. A view of the Han River stretches beyond floor-to-ceiling glass, water reflecting the city like a second sky. The space is immaculate, minimalist, stone counters, pale wood, a single ink painting on the wall. No family photos. No clutter. No proof of softness. I hesitate at the entrance, instinctively looking down. Shoes. Seekjin's eyes flick to my feet, then to a neat row of slippers. Not a command. A reminder of order. I step out of my sneakers and slide into slippers that are too big. I hate that even this tiny domestic detail, makes the night feel stranger. Taehyun gestures once. A woman in scrubs appears from a side room, older, calm, carrying a small medical bag like she's done this in war zones. She doesn't gawk at me. Doesn't ask who I am. She checks my incision with brisk hands. The antiseptic wipe is cold. I bite the inside of my cheek until I taste salt. Stitches are fine, she says in Korean, and Seekjin translates with a nod. But she needs rest. And food. I'm fine, I lie automatically. Taehyun's eyes cut to the table. Eat. A tray is set down, rice, soup, small side dishes arranged neatly. Comfort food presented like ritual. The steam carries garlic and sesame, warm and grounding. I didn't come here to. Debt doesn't get repaid if you collapse, Taehyun says, voice low. Not gentle. Practical. Debt. Again. I pick up the spoon with a hand that won't stop shaking. When I swallow, the heat spreads through my chest, and for 1 second my body unclenches. Taehyun watches me like he's waiting for me to vanish. I tried to find you, he says suddenly. I pause mid-bite. What? After the transplant, he continues. I asked. The hospital refused. Privacy. His mouth tightens as if the word offends him. I stopped asking. Then someone stole the list. So he didn't learn my name by choice. He learned it because someone weaponized it. He looks at the floor for a fraction of a second, almost a bow, almost not, and says, Mayenhi. Sorry. Not because he scared me. Because his world reached into mine and grabbed. I don't know what to do with that apology. It doesn't fix anything. But it lands. Heavy. I stand up, needing air, and wander toward the hall, drawn by the muffled sound of Taehyun's voice behind a partially closed door. I shouldn't listen. I'd do anyway. Find who pulled the donor file, he says, Korean precise, anger kept on a leash. Tonight. A pause. Then his footsteps. The door opens wider. Taehyun's gaze locks onto me like he's been expecting this exact moment. Nia, he says quietly. They already know your face. We leave the penthouse like we're ghosts. Cap pulled low. Mask up. Hoodie zipped. Taehyun looks almost ordinary dressed down, until you notice how the hallway seems to hold its breath when he passes. Seokjin walks a half step ahead, scanning reflections in elevator steel, checking corners like the air itself could swing a fist. My body is still sore. My nerves are worse. Would you expose a powerful man's criminal world to save yourself, even if it means destroying the life your kidney saved? That question keeps tapping at my ribs the whole ride. The hospital at night is a different animal. No families crowding the benches. No daytime chatter. Just fluorescent lights that make skin look pale and guilty. The air tastes like sterilizer and old coffee. My shoes squeak softly on waxed floors, and I hate that sound almost as much as my own breathing. We don't go through the main entrance. A side door. Keycard. A security guard who doesn't ask questions, because Taehyun doesn't get questioned. Seokjin murmurs something in Korean. The guard bows, quick and shallow, eyes down. Respect protocol like reflex. We take a staff elevator. The numbers light up one by one, each ding a countdown. When the doors open, a woman is waiting in the corridor, arms crossed over a white coat. Her hair is pinned back tight. Her expression is exhausted and angry in a way that looks practiced. Dr. Yumira, Seokjin says, like an introduction matters. Her gaze goes straight to me. Not curious. Apologetic. You're the donor, she says in English, quiet. Come. She unlocks an office with 2 locks. 2. Like paper can be dangerous. Inside, the desk is covered in files, but she doesn't touch them. She opens a laptop instead, fingers moving fast, and pulls up a log that looks like a crime scene disguised as data. Someone accessed restricted transplant records, Dr. Yu says. Not doctors. Not nurses. An admin login. Unusual hours. My mouth goes dry again. So, they just stole my name? They copied multiple donors, she corrects, voice hard. Names. IDs. Addresses when available. Then sold it. For what? I whisper. Dr. Yu's eyes flick to Taehyun, then back to me. Not for medicine. For leverage. The word sits between us like a loaded gun. Taehyun doesn't move, but the muscles in his jaw tighten, then release. He's controlling anger with technique. Who? I ask. Dr. Yu hesitates, like saying a name is an act. Then she says it anyway. Kong Daesung. Taehyun's stare turns cold enough to frost glass. Dr. Yu continues, he's not hunting donors randomly. He's hunting you because you're tied to him. He wants proof Taehyun can be controlled. I feel suddenly, sharply small. Like my entire life has been folded into a bargaining chip. Taehyun's voice is low. I never asked for her identity. Dr. Yu nods once. It's true. You refused when the match was approved. You said it should stay anonymous. I blink, surprised by the strange relief that brings. And then, Dr. Yu adds, your Halmiani came in. Taehyun's eyes flicker. The first crack in his composure. She ordered me, he says, not denying it. She said a life debt has to be repaid properly. For honor. Honor. Face. The invisible currency that buys obedience in families that look untouchable from the outside. Dr. Yu slides a printed sheet toward Taehyun, access times, user IDs, a trail. This is what I can give you. Quietly. Before it disappears. Taehyun takes it with both hands. Not gratitude. Precision. We leave the office the way we came, fast, controlled, silent. The parking structure is cold and echoing, concrete sweating in the corners. Our footsteps sound too loud now. Every pillar feels like it's hiding someone. My phone buzzes. A normal vibration. A normal sound. It makes my stomach flip anyway. On the screen, a text from my coworker. Maya, you okay? So ordinary it hurts. I don't even have time to reply. Taehyun's gaze snaps to my phone, then to the far end of the garage. His face changes, not panic. Calculation. Your location, he says, voice clipped, just got pinged. What? My fingers go numb around the phone. Headlights flare at the entrance ramp. Too bright. Too sudden. A van rolls in, engine low, tires whispering over concrete. Seokjin shifts in front of me. Taehyun grabs my wrist. The van door slides open. A shadow moves. My mouth opens to scream, a hand clamps over it. A cloth presses to my face, sharp and sweet, like chemicals dressed up as flowers. My vision stutters. Taehyun's grip jerks, then everything tilts. Fluorescent lights smear into white. Sound drops away. And I fall into darkness. I wake up choking on my own breath. Not because there's a hand on my mouth now, because the air tastes wrong. Damp. Rusty. Like the inside of a pipe. My wrists burn. Rope. Tight. Fibers biting skin. My arms are pulled behind a chair that wobbles every time I move. When I shift, my incision answers with a hot, bright sting that makes stars pop behind my eyes. Warehouse. I know it before I see it clearly. The echo gives it away. The way sound doesn't land, it just keeps traveling, searching for a wall. Somewhere water drips, slow and patient, like a clock that hates me. The place smells like metal and old rain, wet concrete and something sharper, like oil. A man's footsteps approach. Unhurried. Confident. He steps into the strip of light hanging from a single bulb. Expensive coat, clean shoes that don't belong in a place like this, hair slicked back like a decision. His smile is small. Mean. Kong Daesung, he says, almost like he's doing me a favor by introducing himself. My tongue feels too big for my mouth. Where is Taehyun? He finishes for me, amused. Busy. My pulse kicks hard enough to hurt. If you wanted him, you could've, he laughs once, a sound like glass being tapped with a spoon. If I wanted him dead, he'd be dead. He walks a slow circle around me, eyes dropping to my midsection like my scar is a barcode. Then he leans in, close enough that I catch the scent of expensive cologne fighting with warehouse damp. One kidney bought Taehyun's life, Kong says softly. So you belong to the bill. My stomach twists, turning thin and watery. I don't belong to anyone, I force out. Kong straightens, bored already. That's adorable. He snaps his fingers. Two men step forward from the shadows. Not in suits. Practical clothes. Faces blank. Kang's gaze returns to me, sharper now. You know what I love about life debts? They make men predictable. Taehyun will come. He'll bargain. He'll bow his pride a little, then I'll press harder. A door somewhere metal clangs open. Footsteps. Controlled. Heavy. The temperature seems to drop without any wind. Even Kang's men stiffen. Taehyun walks into the light like the light owes him rent. Cap and mask gone. No disguise. His face is calm, but the calm is wrong, too flat, like he poured it over something burning. Behind him, Seokjin appears for half a second at the edge of my vision, scanning, counting, planning. His eyes meet mine once, quick. Alive. For now. Kong spreads his hands, theatrical. Sajangnam. You came. Taehyun doesn't look at him first. He looks at me. My chest tightens. Relief and terror colliding. Are you hurt? He asks. Short. Controlled. I try to nod, but the rope digs deeper. I'm fine. A lie. A stupid one. But I can't hand Kong my fear. Taehyun's gaze flicks to the rope, then back to Kong. Release her. Kang's smile widens. And miss this? No. Taehyun takes one step forward. Kong raises a finger. One of his men lifts a gun, not fully aimed, just present enough to make my spine lock. Kong tilts his head. Let's talk terms. I'll pay, Taehyun says. Kong waves it away. Money is boring. Taehyun's eyes narrow. Then say what you want. Kang's voice turns sweet, poisonous. I want you to step down. Publicly. I want your board, your people, your enemies, all of them to watch you lose face. Lose face. Not death. Not cash. Humiliation. Control. A leash made of reputation. Taehyun's jaw flexes once. The only sign. Kong points at me like I'm a document. Your donor proves you can be bent. Your weakness is a woman with stitches. I flinch at the word weakness. It lands on my skin like grease. Taehyun's eyes cut to me again, and something cracks, just for a second. This, he says, voice like thunder wrapped in whispers, is not weakness. This is debt. He steps closer to my chair, careful, heaping his body between me and Kang's gunman without making it look like fear. His hand reaches out, not touching me yet. Asking without words. I swallow hard. Taehyun, his eyes flicker, pain and fury braided together. The transplant saved my body, he says, so low it feels like it's meant only for me. But this debt, he exhales, sharp. It's destroying my control. I can't stand that your kindness became a weapon. For one heartbeat, the warehouse disappears. It's just his confession and my rope burns and the fact that I saved a man who lives like this. Then Kong claps, slow. Touching. Now kneel. Taehyun turns his head a fraction. No. Kang's smile falls away. Everything happens fast. A gun shifts. Seokjin moves. A body collides with another body. The bulb swings, throwing light like a pendulum. Someone grunts, deep pained. Taehyun lunges toward me, and a knife flashes in the half-light, quick as a thought. It strikes him near his side. Not deep enough to drop him. Deep enough to make my blood go cold. Taehyun's breath hitches. His hand presses to the wound. Red spreads between his fingers. No, the sound tears out of me. I fight the ropes, rocking the chair, dragging it forward inch by inch until my knees hit him. I press my bound hands, awkward, desperate, against his side like I can hold him together with sheer refusal. You are not dying, I whisper, shaking. Not after, not because of me. His eyes find mine. For the first time, fear shows. Not for himself. For what my life means in his world. Sirens rise in the distance. One. Then more. Echoing through the warehouse walls. Police. Or something wearing their uniforms. Taehyun's head snaps toward the sound. Decision hardens his face. He reaches into his jacket with his clean hand and shoves something small into my palm, cold plastic, ridged edges. A flash drive. Run, Nia, he says, and his voice breaks once, just once. If they take me, you don't let them erase this. They don't take me back to my office tell. They take me somewhere quieter than fear. A hammock, tucked behind a gate that doesn't advertise itself. Wood beams. Paper doors. A courtyard that holds the night like a secret. I step inside and automatically look for cameras, then realize the real security is tradition. In the main room, Halmini Sunja sits perfectly still, dressed in a silk jaggery that catches lamplight like water. No guards beside her. She doesn't need them. Seekjin murmurs, bow. I do, too stiff, too fast, too American. Halmini's eyes sharpen, and I correct myself instinctively, bending lower, holding it a beat longer. Only then does she speak. You are the life my grandson borrowed, she says, Korean measured, Seekjin translating softly. So you deserve the truth. Taehyun arrives with a bruised cheek and his side bandaged, posture unbroken. He bows to Halmini first. Deeper than anyone bowed to him. Sejangnam, Seekjin says under his breath, habit, not theater. Taehyun sets a folder on the low table. Dr. Umaira's access logs. Then he places the flash drive beside it like a final chess piece. Names. Timestamps. Brokers, he says to me quietly. The admin who sold the file. The middleman. Kang's pipeline. All of it. And Kong? I ask, voice thin. Taehyun's gaze doesn't flinch. Arrested. Not negotiated with. Arrested. Halmini watches him like she's weighing the shape of his soul. A debt repaid is not a chain, she says. Can you protect her without owning her? Taehyun turns to me. His eyes are exhausted. Honest. Sarangi, he says softly, like it hurts. But you're not my possession. The room holds its breath. And I realize the last choice is mine, walk away safe, or stay, on my terms. Comment where you're watching from. See you in the next story.